Take a look at this. SEC calling for an emergency meeting to end XRP case. The announcement that Gary Gensler would be re-signing as chair of the SEC has sent shockwaves across the cryptocurrency community, particularly among those who possess XRP. Years of animosity between Ripple and the CC over the XRP case culminated in his retirement, which will take effect on January 20, 2025. In the wake of Gensler's dismissal, many in the XRP community have taken to the streets to celebrate the removal of a major obstacle to the cryptocurrency's progress. According to some accounts, the SEC is allegedly responding to increasing criticism from former President Donald Trump by convening an emergency meeting to discuss the Ripple deal. Rumor has it that the resolution may be finalized before Gary Gensler's January 2025 resignation as chair of the SEC. Nothing has been officially verified at this time, though. According to recent revelations from legal experts, Ripple may end up settling for less than $125 million, which is significantly lower than the $1.03 billion originally suggested. What gives? The SEC may wish to avoid a protracted trial that would establish a precedent in the sector now that Ripple has the upper hand thanks to their recent court victories. XRP, on the other hand, has maintained its strength in the face of the litigation and is still an important component of international money transfers. The status of XRP as a security could be clarified through a settlement. After the announcement of the settlement, experts anticipate XRP might witness a price increase with the possibility of a doubling or tripling of its value. Though the $1 in $25 settlement amount is still substantial, a victory for Ripple would also serve as an example for other cryptos that are being evaluated. The outcome of this case may encourage lawmakers in the US to move swiftly on crypto legislation. Japan and Singapore are leading the way in becoming more crypto-friendly, and other nations may soon follow. American business magnate Michael Saylor is known for his success in the marketplace. February 4, 1965 was the date of his birth. One such company is MicroStrategy, which provides services in the cloud as well as mobile apps and business information. He helped start the corporation and now serves as its executive chairman. Saylor faced charges in 2000 from the Securities and Exchange Commission for allegedly misrepresenting MicroStrategy's financial data from 1999 and 2000. From 1989 to 2022, Saylor was MicroStrategy's chief executive officer. He ultimately settled for $8.3 million USD in personal discord, $350,000 USD in penalties, and $350,000 USD to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Even though Saylor was the CEO at the time, MicroStrategy spent billions to buy over 100,000 Bitcoins. To put it simply, Saylor believes in Bitcoin. In 2024, he paid a $40 million fine to settle a tax fraud complaint written by him and published in 2012. The Mobile Way of How Amalgams Will Alter Everything is his book. Additionally, he is the only member of Saylor Academy, a nonprofit that provides free online education. At this point in his biography, I think you have a good idea of who he is and the impact he has had on the cryptocurrency market. Microsoft strategy chair and vocal Bitcoin supporter, Michael Saylor has spoken out again about XRP, Crystal Plane, and other alternative digital assets. While appearing on the PBD podcast not long ago, Saylor emphasized his dogged pursuit of Bitcoin as the pinnacle of investment vehicles. Advising investors on securities or other cryptocurrency assets is something he has categorically denied wanting to do. Saylor essentially said, "I'm totally and entirely dedicated to Bitcoin," in response to a question on whether he could ever suggest XRP client. Even now, Saylor remains a supporter of XRP and other digital assets. Meanwhile, Saylor has made it plain that he is not opposed to any specific project, which is the basis for his perspective. His belief in the need of avoiding risk linked with counterparties is the foundation instead. His use of this principle went beyond cryptocurrency. He asserted that he would not endorse even Apple or other renowned names. His reasoning, which centered on his plan to use Bitcoin primarily as a digital currency and long-term investment, was that there are opposing sides to every security. This comment could convey the idea that MicroStrategy's chairman still views XRP as a security, notwithstanding a July 2017 ruling from a US court that ruled against it. Referring to Bitcoin as digital capital, Saylor reiterated his conviction that this asset is the bedrock of digital finance and the safest investment option in an industry that can experience economic ups and downs. Even though he is mostly concerned with Bitcoin, Saylor is optimistic about the future of digital assets. If what he claimed is true, then creating and distributing hundreds of thousands of digital objects would be beneficial for everyone. Assuming they follow reasonable, ethical, economic, and technological guidelines, he predicts that digital asset markets would increase from $3 trillion to $500 trillion in the future. His main point was that he strongly supports technological advancement. On the other hand, he emphasized the need of responsibly monetizing such assets. Concerning the topic of transactional assets, Saylor said that stablecoins like as Tether's USDED and Circle's USDC had enormous potential, particularly in nations with unstable economies like Venezuela and Cuba. He addressed the rising demand for digital currencies. Stablecoins, he said, can help humanitarian groups and offer a solution to update the global monetary system. Alternatively, Saylor highlighted the U.S. regulatory challenges, including as the lack of a defined framework for stablecoin issuance and transfer. With the right kind of government backing, stablecoins have the potential to swell from $150 billion to $1 trillion, $2 trillion, and $10 trillion. Further explanation from Saylor came from his commitment to maintaining a concentrated investment strategy, which is why he is hesitant to suggest other cryptocurrencies or assets. He joked that you can't go outside of lane, suggesting that diversifying into other digital assets could dilute his core principles. Bitcoin Saylor maintains his unwavering belief is the future of money. Despite the growing number of blockchain projects and digital assets, most cryptocurrency enthusiasts still agree with him that Bitcoin is best utilized as a store of value and protection against inflation. In a statement, Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Gary Gensler hinted at the prospect of his resignation. The event in question is alarming. On the other hand, he couldn't corroborate this with any certainty. During his statements, Gensler suggests that he would consider leaving the SEC. The necessity of modernizing disclosure standards, corporate governance practices, and the regulations governing the equity and treasury markets was emphasized by Gensler. Among Gensler's remarks regarding his efforts in the cryptocurrency industry was the fact that he took over 80 enforcement cases from the previous administration headed by Jay Clayton. Among these instances was the lawsuit against Ripple. He maintained that most cryptocurrency have no real-world value beyond speculation and the risk of illicit transactions. At the conclusion of his speech, the aspect that grabbed the attention of the cryptocurrency world as a whole was the suggestion that he would be leaving the Securities and Exchange Commission. By expressing this opinion, he brought an air of satisfaction to the conversation about how he and other outstanding SC employees had improved the U.S. capital market. Some have speculated that Gensler may plan to leave the Securities and Exchange Commission before Donald Trump's inauguration on January 20th, as the comment seemed to be a farewell letter. You may remember that Trump promised to fire Gensler immediately upon taking office. Both MicroStrategy and Ripple are headed by React, who also serves as its chairman. A number of prominent figures in the cryptocurrency industry have spoken out about the possible effects of Gensler's departure on the industry, including Ripple CEO Garlinghouse and MicroStrategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor.